Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry about earlier if you were here. I was trying to do something and I had a mess in the background. Hey, Recordology. Good evening to you. And how are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Are we escaping the mean streets of YouTube? I will have an open and, the so panels open if you'd like to come on. I'm going to put it up there in a little bit. Just here to talk tonight. Nothing big, no drama. There's enough drama going on. I am okay. I think I'm getting a cold, but I'll live. I will live. I think it could be allergies too, but I'm good. I'm good, really good. Ginger's good today, so I'm good. I put up about 1,000 videos today. No, not that many, but So how are you and strategic media? How are you two doing? I'm eating some peanuts. If you would like some, right this I got the wrong way. Some Planters peanuts. Hello in the background. I see 14 of you, but I don't see. Oh, that's okay. If you like to take your spot, hey Nova, how are you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I was trying to put up a green screen where I discovered I can't. I gotta get a real one. So it's just not gonna work. Hey, Life by Brenda. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. And hey, AMB, how are you? Nova, how are you? Hey, Rebecca, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Hey, Denise, how are you? I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good today. Just here. And let me change this, push it up here. I was gonna come on a little later, but I said, you know what? Let me come on right now. I was trying to let me tell you what happened. I had no idea I was recording. I was trying to put up this green thing, and I had all those coats. You see those coats back there? There's like this hook on the back of the door. I threw them all on the bed. And then it looked like a hot mess. I had stuff on the floor, although you all can't see the floor really. But it was a hot mess. And I was like, man, hey, Danielle, how are you feeling, girl? So I like, oh my God, people see my mess. I mean, you see my mess. My room is always a mess. But it is what it is, So, I'm so happy, AMB. How are you? And I'm glad to see you. Thank you for the thumbs up. I always appreciate the thumbs up. Hey, Penny, how are you? But if you feel so inclined, thumbs down is okay too. Today was a good day for Ginger. It was a really good day. She went bye-bye twice and went shopping, and she had a good day. She had a really good day. How are you? How are you all today? My throat is kind of like scratchy. Usually, I let me take this down. I was trying to get this, up, and I thought, well, I can get a green screen. And no, I think I gotta buy one. Hey, Strategic, how are you? Oh, thank you. No, well, you know what? I wanted to. My plan was to go to Walmart today and get one and get like 3 of them, put them across that thing. But Ginger was with me, and somebody called. See, it's my husband's birthday. He was like, "Hey, LA, how are you? Welcome." It's my husband's birthday, and usually we have dinner. Okay, we go out to dinner. Well, everybody's so chicken. I didn't feel like having people over here. Really didn't. My son couldn't come till in the evening. My daughter, she has something to do tomorrow. So I just went and bought some food and took it to him. You know where to go? So I'm like, you know what? You can't see. Oh, okay. I said, let's escape the mean streets of YouTube because things are going nuts out there, Mr. Pam. He got a good dinner, so hey. We're going to do something next weekend, though. So I took Ginger with me out mostly all day today, so she had a good day. She wanted to. Go. Excuse me. I started to put her back in the house, and she looked at me with those eyes. I'm like, okay, come on. So we went there, and by the time I got to the dollar store, darn, the phone rang. I said, doggone it, But I did go to the dollar store. I just got some paper. I like notebooks. I write all the time. Yeah, well, we're all going to have my family next weekend, but not this weekend. I bought him his meal, enough for like probably about 3 days. And I got there, and my bank card didn't work. I'm like, what? So the bank was right across the street. I'm like, thank God. We usually do that for birthdays. We always get together. Hey Anna, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, well, that's true. He likes leftovers. I'm not a big leftover fan, but he is. Keep Louise in your prayers. She's not feeling well. Yeah, usually they are. I really like birthday dinners. I like the cake too. He's not a cake eater though. My brother's birthday is tomorrow. So when he wanted cake, so but when he's getting ready to come in, he told me to make him a chocolate cake. So I bought the stuff, so I was gonna make him a chocolate cake. Exactly. We always do. So what's going on? What's the topic tonight? Let's have some good conversation. That's what we need. I love cake. Oh my God. Oh my God. Happy birthday. Well, thank you. I got a little ways to go, but thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I sure will, LA. I sure will. I was looking for you. I didn't see you online. Like, what happened to LA? Well, I know I've been coming on crazy times, and orange cake. Oh my God. That sounds good. I never had it. I like all different flavors of cake. Chocolate cake is not my number one though. It's not a yellow cake with chocolate icing. Oh, when does that come? The stimulus. A chocolate orange. Mmm. You're a tourist too. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Happy birthday in advance. Wow. Oh, okay. Carrot cake is good. Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. That video does not belong on YouTube. Oh, Terry's chocolate orange. Oh my God, that is delicious. Oh my gosh. I get that at Walgreens. They have that. And I buy it, you know. I should. Oh, I wish. Orange coconut cake. Oh my God. That sounds so good. Oh wow. We should have a birthday party. On our birthday, we should have a birthday party. Oh my goodness. That sounds so good. I like yellow cake. Oh, you didn't go look at her video. Go look at the. I'm not even gonna say. Okay, it's vulgar. Okay. That's vulgar. And I don't even know who you are, Angie Lee Be Gone, but I agree with you on that. My mother, my birth, I was born on Mother's Day, actually. Prune cake? Ugh. What does it taste like? I don't even know. I think I've eaten prunes before. They had like these little prunes. It's in this little thing and a container. Mm. Nobody's a nobody. Really, I like plums. I do like plums. Excuse me. I want to try that. Hmm. Well, I did write to her and I asked her to remove that video. I said, please remove that video. I like raisins too. I like raisins. I like plums. I just never. I'm gonna have to try it. Hey, Canadian girl. Hey, Appy. How are you? Ah, I was born before the very day my mom wanted to go to Mother's Day brunch, and everyone was touching my hair, asking how old I was. My mom was like, "Oh, about 12 hours," and they were amazed. Oh my God, really? Mm. My mom had me on Mother's Day. My mother had me in 1962. I'm eating peanuts. Would you like some? I know I shouldn't be, but I am. I bought some food from the place I got for my husband, but I didn't like it. And I got this at the dollar store. I had a taste for nuts, and this is the only kind of nuts they had there. And this is what I got. I have a taste for nuts every now and then, because I'm nuts. Mm-mm-mm. And I have diet soda. No, I'm not going to eat that many. I totally understand. Strategic, it's been a long time, like 38 years that I lost my mom, and I still miss her every day. No. Let me see. Pecans, I like pecans a lot. And cashews. Aww. It's so hard when you lose your mom. Your mom is such a, uh, influential person in your life. My mom never even knew I got married. She nothing. My mom died when I was 19. I just graduated from high school, and then that October my mom died. Well, I think we all lost our mom young. Hey Terry, how are you? Welcome. Yep, I think we all lost our parents young. Well, all, excuse me, some didn't. Aw. You're an only child? Oh my gosh, Nova. Oh my gosh. I can't imagine that. What it would, well, I kind of do, but. Oh, I'm sorry, Sheila. I am so sorry. That has to be so hard. 60 is now is like 60 now is like 40 a long time ago. Awesome, Terry. Well, I'm going to put this up in case anybody wants to come on panel. You're more than welcome. I'm going to put it up. And, we could do that. I think that's how it goes, yeah. I had a friend when I was in grade school. She lost her mom, and she had to go to a foster home. I was trying to get my mom to take her in, and she was going to, but then they said no, she couldn't. Aww. That's hard. That's hard. Strategic. Oh, definitely strategic. Are you stubborn? I am so stubborn. I mean, I'm not stubborn about everything, but some things I am just like horribly stubborn about, and I don't give in. I don't give on some things, and some things, if I make up my mind, I'm 100%, and some things, I am so stubborn. Wow, that's a Taurus over there. Let me see. My daughter's a Leo. Wait, no, August 5th. That's a Leo, right? Yeah, that's a Leo. My son's a Sagittarius. And my husband's a Pisces. My brother's a Pisces. My mother was a Leo. My grandmother was a Pisces. Most of my friends have been like between Pisces and Virgo. Growing up, I had a lot of Virgo friends. I'm going to get my jacket on. It's freezing here. Um, no wonder I'm uncomfortable. I'm sitting on this. I'll put this over here. Oops. That was my trying to put up a. Oh, you're a Sagittarius. Okay. My son's a Sagittarius. Yeah. Wow. Wow. They're very funny. They're very, very funny. They have that sense of humor. Yeah. Scorpio. Well, hey, Sassy, how are you? How are you? Oh my goodness. I am so freezing. Boy. What time did I put? Oh, 8:42. Uh, I am doing just fine. Just fine. You were born on your mom's birthday? Oh my goodness. Oh, I can imagine, Mary. Oh, I'm sorry. I think there are certain things when, with astrology, I do believe in some of it, and some of it I just think, not everybody is the same. I have more of a person. I have a typical Taurus personality, except I do have a lot of Virgo too. I've had a lady, she used to do astrology, and she used to tell me, you have a lot of things in Virgo. Wow. What, really? Oh my God. Strategic. There's never anything inside. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll send you some star fortune cookies. I'll put you some fortunes in there. Man. Now, my husband is a oh really? Wow. I can imagine, yeah. Well, see, being born on Mother's Day, I always get screwed out of a gift. It's always kind of like, not that, but with my family. Oh, it's Mother's Day and your birthday. You don't want two gifts, do you? I'm like, sure, sure I do. I mean, yeah. But yeah, me and my birthday sometimes on Mother's Day are so close to it. Yeah, I was. I saw that K. Well, I heard about it anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. You know. Hey Pink, how are you? I don't read cards. Sorry. I wish I did. My grandmother she used to do tarot cards. What? My kids do that to me all the time. Well, here's one gift and it's for you both. And I'm like, that's cheap. Really? Glenda? That should be interesting. Oh, well. There's a lot of weird stuff going on now on the YouTube streets, so I'm just staying on my side of the road. Mm. Wow. So, what else is going on? Anything important? Well, we know we're getting the stimulus. That's good. Really? Oh my God. Oh my God. Exactly. I agree with you, LA. I exactly agree with you. Yep. Stay on the sunny side of the street. I don't want to be enough. The ring and the string test. What's that? We get uh we get 1,400, and I guess it's supposed to be by the end of the month, right? Or they're gonna start sending out. Hopefully. Oh, really? I just put a Biore and a nose strip on your husband for the first time. Oh, cool. Oh, wow. I should do that on myself. uh, if it came back anything, I want to know when, how. Exactly. You make a human, you get a gift. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very true. You know what though? When I was pregnant with my kids, I knew my son was going to be a boy. I just knew it. I knew my first one was a boy. I just did, and I knew my second one was a girl because each pregnancy was so different. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, Orange Tabby, how are you? Welcome. Sorry, didn't see you right away. How are you? I love to do those. I used to like to do the mask and look and see get a lot of stuff off and everything. Ooh, I'll put this up there in case anybody wants to come on panel. Yep. Really, I did the same thing too. I had my names picked out and everything, and I changed my mother. I changed my daughter's name because hey, Ke Rose, how are you? Um, uh, 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 because my mother-in-law didn't like it, and I should have went with it. You know, it wasn't her kid anyway, so. But I went along with it just to keep peace. And I figure, well, my mother's gone, so you know. But I knew the second one was going to be a girl. I just knew it because I could. I don't know. It was so different. Each pregnancy was so different. With my son, I was always morning sickness. It was horrible. And with my daughter, it wasn't so much. Tell record, we say strategic. Or if he's here too. Hey, recordology. Aw. Um, you never ever got morning sickness? With my son, oh my God. Oh, okay. With my son, I never, hey, Michigan lady, how are you? Welcome. I had so much morning sickness. It was ridiculous. With my daughter, nothing. With my son, I wanted things like chocolate. With my daughter, I wanted ice. And I mean, and I was always going when I was pregnant with my daughter. Until the day she was born, I was shopping. Every day I'd go out shopping. I just had to get out of the house. Yeah, me too. Oh, God, it was so crazy. I would get up like at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the gas station and get a big glass of ice. Really? I would eat ice like crazy. Oh, really, Nova? Are they all grown up? Or are they still younger? I ate like I do now. I ate like junk. I ate a lot of junk food. With my son, I used to like to have Big Macs every day. Really, I always like ice. Even today, I still eat ice. I have ice all the time. I used to like the Big Macs with the sauce. I used to get like extra sauce. Oh my God. I used to love that stuff. And tacos. Oh my God. And in effect, like about after my daughter was born, maybe about 6 years later, excuse me, I ended up having my gallbladder out because I ate so many hot peppers. I used to, oh my God. Hey, hi, Chris. How are you? Welcome. What? I'm pretty, what kind of bands? What kind of bands could they? Great popsicles. That sounds good, actually. Oh, me too, strategic. I love that. Oh my God. I used to do that when I used to go to the baseball games. Thornton's is a gas station, right? We have a Thornton's here. Yeah, we have a gas station, Thornton's here too. Aw. Oh, isn't that ice wonderful? Oh my God. That has got the best ice, little crunch to it. Mm. Circle K. We don't have Circle K here. I don't think so. Yes, $1,400 for the stimulus. We get that. Oh my God. Bands to remove. Ooh, that's so cool. People are stupid. You know, people. The things that they'll do to animals is just ridiculous. Oh my God. Really? Did you contact somebody or anything like that? Like they say, if you went to like through H&R Block, it could be a problem. Or like that happened to my daughter, but she got it the same day. And hey Hole, how are you? Um Sheila, that's funny. I would too. And I don't think it really goes by if you worked or anything. I mean, if you don't have money, they're going to give it to you. They want you to have money, you know. Is K.E. Rose your Facebook page? You know, they come really, really fast. Hey, Angeli, how are you? Hmm. I'm on there, but I don't go on there as much. I'm having a good day. I guess I'm gonna have to ask you this question because you know I put it on your Facebook. Angie, I like you, but why did you put that video up? What was up with that video? I'm gonna have to ask you. I don't think everybody will get the stimulus. I don't think so. I think it's going to have to be based on your age. I'm not your age, but your income. I know. No, I know. No, I meant to say income. Yeah, I got it all wrong. Stimulating. Oh, welcome back, Recordology. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Bye, Terry. Sleep well. Thank you. Everybody's welcome to. You posted again. You're welcome to come on panel. We could talk about anything. Oops. Crap. Let's do that. Please don't be camera shy. Feel free. Anybody's welcome. You pick a topic if you'd like to talk about something, talk about anything you like. Hey B, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, I can imagine it is. That's late. Yeah, it is late. No, you're not bogarting anything, LA. You're welcome to. Anybody can come. How's your day, B? See, you don't really have to put your face on here. Just okay, watch this. Watch this. I don't have to put my face on here either. I'm back. Okay, wait, I can go like that. Yeah, see? You can't see me, but I'm still here. I'm back. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I get kind of weird about that. Like, after I get off of here, I always put my camera down. So if I get undressed or something, yeah, I can see somebody looking like, boy, is she fat. Sure am. Thank you. I always get afraid of that. It's like with excuse me, my Alexa. You know, I always wonder, can people hear me? Oh, okay. Like that's what mine is. Mine's a desktop too. I have a camera up there. I bought it a separate camera. And I used to have, what's that thing called? It was it didn't have a camera. It might have, but you couldn't download. It was really Google something or another. Netbook or something like that. It's okay. I don't like my doctor. What does Elvis on the Oh, okay, so Elvis fan parking violators will be all shook up. Somebody had gave me that and I had it there like forever. I have everything I have on my wall. I've been wanting to take down, but I can't because it's like things that people have given me. Yeah, maybe that's why. I used to have so much Elvis stuff. It was ridiculous. I mean, I got quite a bit. I got behind me. I have a clock with a cuckoo clock with Elvis on it. A painting I think Faith made me. I have other stuff over on the other side. You know, I have a lot. My room's like a little kid's room. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody comes here anyway. Okay. Okay, take your time. I gotta go. I have to in a little bit I have to go get Ginger's medicine to give it to her because she has to get it at 8:45. I get it down in the moment, 24 hours, no, 12 hours. I give it to right on the I try to keep it right on time. Every now and then I mess up. Oh. Mm. So what else is going on? I hope I didn't insult Angie Lee, and I didn't mean to. But if I said something, if I didn't say nothing and I acted like I didn't see it, it'd be kind of hypocritical of me. And I figure most people already seen that, and it's quite shocking. That's why I asked because that video was quite shocking to me. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't mean to be rude. I just wanted to if I'm going to talk about it, you know, behind the scenes, why not if a person's right there? I'd rather say something to the person when they're there. Oh, really? Oh, I thought you about now. I was like, whoo, I didn't know that. Yeah. Angie Lee's video. I hope she took it down. I don't know if she did or if she didn't. I mean, that was wrong. That was just wrong. In my opinion, that was wrong. That's not a place for YouTube where children go to and where people who, okay, maybe you say it's adult like, but still, I mean, people are going to look. Who needs to see that? Nobody. Oh, I don't dislike Angela. I really don't. I think she's very pretty. I think she has a lot of talent. I just think that them no. No. And that's how I feel too. There's only one person I really don't like and that's her. I I have people I don't agree with and stuff like that. Hey Sade, how are you? Oh sure, hold on. Yeah, I just think that there it's not appropriate. And and I'll be honest, I think they should take it down. I think YouTube should take that down. I don't believe in censorship, but that is wrong in so many different levels. They have places where you could do that. You can put that type of stuff up. Somebody masturbating. Of what was her name? Angelique. You know what? No, they won't. If they haven't taken it down by now, they're not going to take it down. YouTube rarely does anything about anything. Seriously, unless it's a copyright or a direct, a direct threat, they don't do anything about anything. And even threats, they don't do anything. Yep. YouTube does nothing about anything unless it's a copyright. And then, even if it's a copyright, they can still get their video back. So they don't do any. Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Crap. I apologize.
Is
There
it on?
you go. There you go. There you go.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah,
Hi.
I'm so sorry. I wasn't even looking over there. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No problem.
But yeah, YouTube doesn't do anything about anything. And again, I'm not about censorship, but that's wrong. It's just wrong on so many different levels. But you know,
What are we talking about censorship? I'm missing it. I missed it. Must have been when
something.
I was downstairs.
Angela, she comes in my channel, and she was just in here a little while ago, and I asked
Yeah, I
her
saw the name. I saw the
the
name.
video. She put a video up of somebody masturbating, basically.
On YouTube?
Yes.
Hmm.
And I mean,
Why? What's the point? What was I mean,
it's shock.
I
It's
don't know
shock
her. I don't
video.
really is there some story behind it or
No,
oh.
no. I just I
Hi again, strategic. I see you from in here.
yeah yeah. She she's a nice person enough, I guess, but I don't know. I just think that there's just I'm too old.
You are not too old. Please don't say that because I think we're pretty close. Pretty close. I think there's a couple of years between us. I'm not too old.
I mean,
I'm barely old. I'm
it's
not
just,
old at all.
some stuff is just like shocking to me. Like, you know,
I mean, there's adult things fine. I'm no prude. Adults can do what they want, but I don't know if I would say YouTube is. I don't really know what the video was or is, but if it's as
it's
you say, I mean,
check it out. Go check.
no, no, thank you.
Yeah,
No.
I just don't understand how it I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a prude. I mean, I am and I'm not. I mean, I think there's just some there appropriate stuff. Okay, I don't think I want to walk in a park and see people having sex. No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't really want to see people having sex in a park. I don't mind seeing people kiss or hold
No,
hands or,
it's different. I'm
but
talking about
no.
the act of, I'm not, I'm just not into that, But I didn't mean,
Sorry, Pam. Look what Sheila said.
oh yeah,
Next time she's going to use duct tape on her husband.
that might work.
It might work. It might work. Um, no, go ahead though, Pam. I wanted you to finish your thought because you
No,
said
no,
about the.
it's just, I don't know. I didn't mean to be rude, and I didn't because I am like the type of person. Look, if I'm going to say behind your back, I'm going to say it to your face with you sitting there, and
Same.
I give you the opportunity to respond because everybody has the right to be able to respond and defend themselves. And if I said something wrong, I apologize. But that's why I said, "What's that video about?" I mean, I know what it's about, but why?
Mm. So you asked her. Oh, okay. Now it's all coming together for me. So that was your question earlier.
Yeah, why that video? I
And
mean,
did she respond? If she did, I guess I didn't see. Maybe
I
it
don't
was.
know if she took off or
Oh,
if she
okay.
left because I left her a message on her thing. Please take that down. I did. I said, please take that video down because to me, first of all, if you have a child and you're putting the stuff up, what happens if that child comes across? I mean, maybe I don't know. I can't. I
Oh
don't know.
gosh, she has a 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, I learned years ago that I kind of drew a line about this stuff. I think I discussed this one time before with you here, Pam, that when I used to have my own sites, this wasn't YouTube, this was way before YouTube,
Mhm.
and I used to discuss family stuff a lot and my own stuff a lot. But there came a point, especially when I started getting contacted by all kinds of, well, I mean, I wouldn't say crazy people. I don't know. There's no way to know for sure. But I mean, it just dawned on me, look, there's a time and a place to share. It was nothing like what you're talking about right now with this other person, nothing like that, but just, more personal things.
Right.
And in fact, I think you mentioned this in a video that I caught up on today of yours, where you were talking about sort of having to determine at some point, do you each person for themselves, I think you were getting at, do you have a boundary? How much do you want to share, and what kinds of things do you want to share? And, I mean, I don't know, people have different value systems, different sensibilities. I get that. And I'm not here to, cramp anybody else's style, so to speak.
That's true.
But I kind of can see your point, though, if you approached her more from a spirit of, if this is somebody who herself has young children, or even has reason to think children, I mean, it's YouTube, unless it's a private video or somehow has restricted access. Let's face it, kids find stuff. Kids find stuff. And so I just determined for myself years ago, I got to the point where I stopped even talking about certain kinds of things.
Right.
And if I were doing a YouTube channel these days, no, there just would be.
To me, you have to be, I mean, not have to be. Nobody has to do anything. You can make your channel the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
You have the right to design your channel to be what it is. Be it a drama channel, be it a peaceful, let's just have a conversation, or whatever, and like I made video today. I don't know if you guys even seen it, where I was talking about some things I've talked about before in my life. And, people will always throw stuff back at you. Hey, Tizzy, how are you? And, people will always throw stuff at you, saying, in even like this kind of conversation. And most of my conversation, if people want to know more about me, you listen to my rides in the car. You'll find out more about me, because I talk more about myself.
Yep.
I don't reveal myself.
And you don't relieve yourself either. Thank you, Pam. Well, I mean, it's a relief to share. I mean, that's it. Yeah.
It is. You know how much do you know how many things people throw back at you, though? Really, they throw back at you. If you say something that's personal, they're writing it down. Oh, this happened. Yeah, look at this, that happened. And I'm not saying I've never done the same, because I have. I mean, you sit in the and I'm not saying anybody on my channel. I'm not saying anybody on my channel. Of course, everybody on my channel is great, and even the lurkers they're just here because they enjoy my content. But but some people, even myself, at one time, you sit there and you listen. I could talk about that. You could talk about this. You could talk about that. You could talk about this. And then the first conflict, you said this, and I got the receipts, and it's so funny, Yeah. But you know what, though? If I say it, I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of my life. I've made some dumb choices. And if my choices can stop you from making your choices, I'll tell you about my choices. I will always talk about my gambling. Because it might stop you from doing that, or knowing the ramifications if you go to a casino and you start thinking that this is not real money. And when you put your card in the machine and you're getting that high and you're like, oh, I can take it all out and I'm going to win. Oh, I could tell you, don't do that. But if our moral decisions that you're, on the computer, or when you're angry, the things that you say, it's gonna come back to you. It always comes back to you, and not at the worst possible time.
Well, yeah, I could appreciate exactly as you say there, though. I like the way that you said that, Pam. You said you're not ashamed of your life. You're not ashamed of anything in your life, anything that you've shared. And I just think that's a really healthy and, I mean, I don't know, this might sound corny to some people, but it's really self-affirming to feel that way about yourself, especially if you haven't. Look, I've talked a little bit about my life. When you've, if anybody, and we all have had issues, we all have had problems and ups and downs in our lives, I'm sure, right?
Mhm.
And to whatever extent you choose to share that with people, I
Mhm.
think it's just such an awesome thing to be able to share and then to not shy away from it. And I think it's really, it's too bad, and it's kind of sad, and frankly, my own personal opinion, it's kind of pathetic. But unfortunately, you're right that some people will kind of just lurk around and try to seize on some low time in a person's life that they choose to share in hopes of helping others, or just lightening the burden for themselves, even, a lightened load, as they say. A shared load is a lightened load, right?
Right.
That there are people who will try to like somehow make something of that, or make fun of it, or uh, that speaks a lot about that person. It
Well,
doesn't
that's
really
very
say anything about the person whose life it was, in my opinion. Like you, it's like, if I say a thing, it's true,
right.
period, the
That's how
end. That's
I
just how it is.
I don't care. I always care. Oh, you spent all your family's money. Well, no, I didn't spend it all.
But whose business is that?
And you're right. You're right.
Listen,
And
with your family,
no
that's
idea
the key word, your family.
someone's money,
It's not their family, it's
and
not their business.
and you have no idea. I did pay some of it back, and some of it was whatever. But again, people don't understand. You have to, if you never get anybody else's story, you don't know what can happen out there. Like you know, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you're gonna get burnt. And I said,
Yeah,
don't put your
yeah.
hand on the hot stove, you're gonna get burnt. Or don't do drugs because you're gonna get addicted. Oh no, I'll never get addicted. Okay, then you're gonna be addicted. You're gonna get addicted, but most likely you can get addicted. And just to warn people, it's just like, hey, I did this, and and if you follow down the same road I went, chances are you'll land up in the same spot or worse. I mean, there is
Yeah.
worse. There is worse. I'll be right back. It's time to get uh uh
Little
it's
Ginger, is it time for Ginger?
yeah, her
Ginger, it's Ginger time.
yeah,
We
I
need
got
to ring a little bell or something when it's Ginger time.
it's just her pills. It's just her
That's
pills.
all right. Okay.
Right. You know what? I got lots of money from my family. Whoo, lots of it. Lots. Now they're standing on corners ringing bells. Alms for the poor. Yeah.
Please, sir, may I have another? Whatever that thing is. Sheila, I see. Life with Sheila. Um, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the way I feel about it. I just feel like a lot of this stuff that I kind of hear by osmosis, including some of the things Pam was talking about earlier, how there's a lot of stuff, I don't remember her exact words, but she said, going on YouTube right now. I'm kind of aware, I've pieced together some of the most recent drama, if we want to call it that. So I kind of get, I think, what's going on. But to me, it's just kind of, a lot of it is ridiculous. A lot of it I find really sad. But in terms of like someone deciding to open up and share of themselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly, to whatever extent they choose to share, uh, some people will try and take advantage of that and exploit it and try and somehow center themselves in it, use it, to somehow make themselves uh, the center of it. And, that's a shame. But for me personally, it's not a thing that I find particularly distracting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, somebody else talking about that video. I don't know what that is. I don't need to see it. I don't really care. I do think, though, in general, that if an adult person, fully grown, which I take it this woman is, if she has a child of that age, is posting something that's causing people to, it's an attempt to get a response. Really, it seems to me. It's a sort of like what do they call it in the medical field? Attention-seeking behavior, I think they call that. Yeah. Sheila, you should hop on here. Nova, Michigan, any of you guys. Kate Rose, you can come on. Kate Rose, are you the one who said it didn't ask you, did you want to use your camera? Or was that somebody else? Strategic media, come on in. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the chat here to see what else. You can watch the you can see the comments, YouTube comments here within StreamYard. Now I'm watching / listening via StreamYard instead of YouTube because the audio is better through my headset. Just FYI, I don't know how many of you guys have jumped on one of these panels. It's kind of fun though. Come on, you should come on. Oh, sorry, Nova. Yeah, I know. That's right. I keep forgetting. Yeah, you are quite a few hours ahead of us here. Yeah. Yeah. Katie Rose, you know, again, you don't have to use your camera. If you got a piece of paper, if you got some tape, some scotch tape, cover your camera. Problem solved. There you go. There you go. Exactly, Brenda. I agree completely. Yeah. That's the thing too. You know, if you've heard that saying about how there's so many things in our lives that we can't control, but the thing that you can control, or let's say the thing that you can work toward being better able to control, is your response to things. Things that happen that are beyond your control, you can try to better control or learn how to control your response to it, because that's something that other people don't have power over unless you hand it over to them. You know, they don't take it. It's interesting language, I think, too. I'm always interested in people's choice of words, and sometimes it's subconscious, but I think it matters when people talk about someone taking their power away. No, I think in a lot of cases, people don't understand. You're kind of handing it over voluntarily when you allow someone to, for instance, to kind of hijack your narrative. Brenda, to your point about your life is your life. Well, exactly. It's Brenda's life. It's not observer's life. It's Brenda's life. So we don't control that narrative unless you hand us over control. Galway, Ireland. Am I saying that right, Nova? Galway? I'm not even going to attempt to do the most horrible American attempt at an Irish accent. No, I'm not even gonna try it. Even though I have some Scots Irish in my background. Hey, Pat. Hi. I hope you're feeling pretty good today. Pam is taking a little ginger attendance break currently. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. People are just so fascinated with Miss CB, aren't they? I see it always reverts to that. Of course, I know sometimes it's just seeders. I think of them as, I know everybody uses the term troll, but I think of these random people who show up and just will make some random comment to, sort of pull the attention over to this subject that's supposed to be so strictly verboten, right? I always think of them as seeders. They come in and sort of drop this little trail of seeds. I find it kind of amusing. You know what I always think of is like Hansel and Gretel. If you guys know that story of them, poor little Hansel and Gretel, leaving a little trail of breadcrumbs or whatever it was so they could find their way. I'm probably totally screwing up that story. It's been a minute since I read that story to my children. Okay.
Hello.
She's back. Welcome back, Pam.
Hey. Hey, Ginger, come here. Look what I got. Come on, Ginger. Come on. Excuse my bed. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Ginger. Come on.
Well, right, Nova, that too. Fools. Be gone, fools.
Come on, hurry up. Hurry up. Here we go. Look what we got.
I like the way you think, Nova.
Come on, let's get this. Come on. There you go. Come on.
Sade with the emojis on point as usual. I'm so envious.
There you go.
Sade, you must be on a phone with that excellent emoji game. I use them when I'm on my phone, but I hardly ever use
Awesome.
YouTube on my phone.
Yep. Here you go. You can go back down. Do I have? Where did I do with your treats? I thought I brought treats in. Hold on.
We all want treats. I'll bring treats for everybody next time, I promise. If there were a way, I really would. Honest, you guys, I would. I would take orders. I would say, hey, okay, everybody put in the chat, what's your favorite treat? And I'll bring it for you next time. But, until we get that Jetsons food tube or whatever it is, I can't do that.
Here you go. Okay, we're done.
Dogs don't bother me at all, no, Katie Rose. I don't think Pam minds either. Hey, what? Pam, welcome back. Katie was saying her dogs were another reason that she doesn't want to get on camera because they're noisy and they play. I said, I don't care about that. I mean, I don't know.
Actually, it's more realistic, yeah. It's more realistic. It's what real life is, Whose house is perfectly quiet? Nobody's house is perfectly,
I mean, if you have a little sound stage or a little recording booth or, soundproof room or something, awesome. There's a place for that. That's, that's cool too. But I mean, this is just like hanging out with your pals to me.
I know. I'm going to get the green screen. I've been trying to making my stuff. I'm going to get one this week or next week. And they have like this one where it's like you're at a table.
I'm going to look it up. Do they have it on, is it like can you get them on Amazon? I don't know anything about a green screen.
Oh, well, a green screen, yeah. I'm going to get it on Amazon. And you can get this program and you can get these different, scenarios in the back or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to do. That's my,
oh yeah, I see a couple of them here. I see the kind that kind of anchors to the floor and then goes up the wall behind you, 9 by 15 feet. Then I see kind of like a couple of a blue screen and a green screen.
Right. With
a stand. Which one of those you figure is preferable?
I have no idea. I just started looking at them. And I mean, I just want something that I'm going to get something that just like sits behind you. I don't need nothing huge because this is where I mostly do my, I'd rather be in here because it's more quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, I do leave on occasion, but, but yeah, it's going to be right here. Although I could do a green screen in my living room. That would be possible, totally possible, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I have the back wall. But I don't know. Hey, is it Terrell Rogers? Oh, just sit back and enjoy yourself. Get a coffee. Yeah, just get a coffee, sit back, put your feet up, hey, let loose. Not too much, though.
Exactly, not too much. Don't make us get out the what's that thing? No, careful. I wasn't going to say anything untoward. No, I was thinking of like at the bowling alley, how they put up the bumpers or whatever to keep you in the lane. Don't make us activate the bumpers.
Don't make me get my prayer out. Yeah.
Yeah, these look pretty cool. I mean, I know how you feel about having like a channel wish list or anything, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I would
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get it like probably the end of the week or something, because I'm just waiting to see what's gonna happen. In fact, she's got. I think it's on the 16th. She has her cardio. What is it called? Echocardiogram.
Oh yeah,
She has her ultrasound of her liver and her spleen, and then we could start with really knowing to get the exact sort of medication that we need, because right now we're just kind of like, this is going to help, this is going to help, but we don't really know, then we know exactly what we're working with and how we're going to approach it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. I mean, those tests, the diagnostic tests like that and the blood tests and all that stuff,
Mhm.
it's really important when it comes to pinpointing down. I'm sure all of your medical people here in chat have told
Mhm.
you, or you already know this. It's important. It's just so expensive to get all that stuff done. But, I mean, it's worth it in the end if you can be relatively assured that she's finally getting, the best course of treatment, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, she's been with one vet for 3 years, the same vet. Okay, things were going okay. She always said she had the collapsed trachea, the collapsed trachea, the collapsed trachea, and did a few tests, but nothing really invasive. And then I just said, I'm going to try this doctor over here. Oh my God, this doctor now has gone through I don't think there is another test we could go through. I'm sure there is, but we've gone through everything. This is like the last thing. And luckily, a lot of things aren't as bad as I thought they were. And something. Hey, Betty, how are you? Welcome, and welcome everybody that I wasn't here. Uh, you know, uh, I'd buy. Okay, what did it say? Dogs are way too expensive when vet stuff is needed. I don't even think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're expensive, but it's just like you're human. My dog is like my human.
Yeah, it's a living creature who
It's
has
it's
working systems in their body that might need attention from time to
yeah.
time. Yeah.
I mean, I understand. It's I wish I would have known about this doctor 3 years ago, but I didn't. So I have a really good doctor now. So I mean, she's getting the best care that I can afford right now, and really, and it's so weird because not very many places in this area do echocardiograms on dogs. There's
I
only
know when you mentioned that, I was like, really? Can that be the case? I mean, I guess it
they
is.
don't
It's been a
have
long time since I had a dog, so I don't know.
they don't have like there's only three places in well one they're not taking it, or they're not doing any more additional, they're not taking any more patients. The
Mm.
the second one they could do one but they can't do the other, and the third one is where well no the second one they would do it but it's so far away, and the third one is at Purdue Lafayette. And I said, well, between there and Aurora, Illinois, I'll go to Aurora. You know, Purdue is kind of far. My daughter used to go there, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, she'll get what she needs.
yeah, I
If
think so.
there's, if there's ever a question for not getting what she needs, let us know, please. Or I'm telling you, let me know. I mean,
No, she's
please.
good. She's good. We're
Okay.
we're we're on point right now.
Good,
And we're
good,
just
good.
waiting for you know, what you said somebody didn't bring their cats to the um. I will say this about cats. Usually, I mean, of course, you got to get tested. You need to get rabies shots and whatever. But cats are really weird. Until they get sick, um, you never know they're sick.
Yeah,
Once,
that's what they say. Yeah, kind of all at once, kind of hits at once. Yeah.
I mean, when I had my cat, he didn't get sick until one day he got sick, and then he was really sick. So when it hits hard. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get off the animal talk. I
No
talked.
more animal talk. Animal crackers in our soup.
Yeah.
Or something like that old song.
Okay, but what is going on? Was somebody's trying to block text? Is somebody saying stuff?
No, I think K.E. Rose, I'm kind of following along here. I think you were saying that, speaking of porn, you had been getting porn on your phone and you don't know why, or texts or something. And someone was saying you could block
Oh,
text.
I get the car warranty calls too, and I get about Social Security too. I'm able to get Social Security. I can also, let me see, hire a lawyer. Oh well, but good thing on my phone it says like spam, and I just click spam, spam, spam. But I think they just keep calling. They keep calling, keep calling. It's like, my God. I was thinking about changing my number, actually. I have been thinking about it, you know.
Well, the phone, I don't know. My phone management is very basic. Okay. Yes, I am that person. I have very basic. It's just as simple. If I don't recognize the number, I don't answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because I always say, and my whole family knows this, my close friends know, if you have to call me from some number that you know I don't recognize, text me first from that
Right.
number and say, hey mom, it's blah blah, it's whichever child, it's whichever friend, and here's our agreed on secret word that only we know, so it's me, right? We have our whole system. And otherwise I just don't bother with it. Same with a text. Kate Rose, I don't know if you've ever received a text or an email or a
Mm-hmm.
phone call. If you get text and or email, even if it looks like it's from someone you know and it has a link, you should never click on the link unless
Right.
you contact them.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a text, for instance, that looks like your friend Jane, right?
Mm-hmm.
You call her. Just stop right there. Call her. Don't reply to the text and say, hey, what's up? No, you call her so that it's a real call and you're really speaking to her and say, hey, did you just text me this link? I mean, it sounds kind of convoluted maybe, but that really is considered a best practice because there's so many, they're called phishing scams with PH phishing and number replication. It can appear to be coming from a certain number and it's not
Yes,
really.
I get that all the time. I get that all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
My prefix is like 219.
exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow, there's gotta be somebody here. No.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's somebody from way overseas somewhere, and like, get off my phone, or you are now eligible to apply for whatever. I'm like, what? No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, always just turn it around the other way. If it says, hey, we're contacting you from the IRS, you need to click this link, you need to call us. Hey, we're contacting you from Social Security. Just stop, go online, look up the actual federal number for these places, call them, or you could even type in, whatever, if they're giving you a code or something like that, go to Google and type it in. Don't go to the website they're giving you because they can also
Right.
spoof URLs. So there's a few
Mm-hmm.
basic things that you can do to kind of that first
Mm-hmm.
layer of scamming and phishing. It's rampant. It is rampant these days. They use all kinds of crazy scare tactics. And sometimes people, especially if it's, let's say if you're somebody who does have a history with the IRS, for instance, maybe,
Right.
you're going to owe tax, you might just, your first thought is, oh my gosh, this must be legit. I was expecting this. Oh my God, I was expecting bad news. No,
Right.
settle down, calm down, take a couple deep breaths. Let's
Hey,
figure it out. It's probably
it's
not real.
usually the
Most places.
IRS doesn't call you. The IRS doesn't call
No, I was going to say most
you.
legitimate, any kind of concern like that, especially the government, they're going to send you something in the postal service.
Right. And
In
even
the postal service.
Social Security doesn't call you either,
No, they don't. They do
No,
not.
I don't know. I just, but I have thought about changing my number. I was thinking about getting another phone and using the phone, like use this phone for just
For dedicated things. Yeah.
and the other phone are for calls, and nobody will really know. I mean, who would know? And I could block calls or whatever. Excuse me, I don't know. I like to use my phone for making videos. I think it's so much easier though.
Mm-hmm.
I think using the phone. I think using cameras are so hard. To me, it's just difficult. I have one though.
Well, I don't. I've seen some channels where people talk and just rave about the camera that they use, and I think if people are really interested in a produced video, they're interested in that, either doing it themselves or having someone do it for them. They want to edit it. They want to have cuts. They want to have layer over music or voiceover or animation, whatever it might be. I don't know. Okay, I could see maybe invest in a camera, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know. It's not really necessary, I don't think.
I know nothing about anything. I kid you not. I know nothing. I could barely get online. I'm like, where is that at? What? I really know nothing about it.
Well, I mean, you know what you need to know, clearly, right?
I'm surprised. I truly am surprised I'm on StreamYard. You know how many years I've been wanting to do this? And it's just like the part of doing it is the part that's, like scary, I don't want to mess
Yeah.
something up.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's interesting that you said it that way. You don't want to mess things up because have you ever heard that saying? Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you're like, well, I don't even want to try because I'll screw it up. But as you said, it's kind of like the big ramp up time was really the longest time period. And then once you actually tried, it's like, oh,
Right.
okay, so this isn't so hard. And okay, it's got a couple kinks. I can work them through and it's fine, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. It's
I
fun. I want
I
some
like
more
this
people to jump on
better.
here, though.
I like this better. Anybody want to come on? Come on with us. I mean, we can have 10 people. I found that out. I can have 10. And you're welcome to come. I mean, as long as you behave. And I'm sure you will. Because so quickly you get you off. No.
Well, maybe just have a little fun. We'll just have a little fun with you. That's all. Don't be afraid.
No.
Honest.
Oh my God, you had a 20-year-old cat. Oh my gosh.
That's old
Oh,
for a cat, right?
yeah. Well, that's pretty old for a cat. I said the next pet I have, I think I'm gonna get me a bird. They live forever. Hey, Claudia, how are you?
Yeah,
Have you
birds can
talked to
outlive their
her?
owners.
I haven't talked to her today. I think she's not feeling good. I think, yeah, I text her. She's not feeling good. So,
K.E.
yeah.
Rose, let me just say, I don't know if you're interested or if you were just making an observation, but about editing programs. Editing programs are like any other kind of programs. They can be free, they can be cheap, they can be moderately priced, or they can cost out the wazoo. It just depends on what your level of interest and what your needs are and your objectives. I think there's a lot of open source stuff available. And
Yeah.
I mean, if you or someone is interested in using editing programs, there are some pretty good ones that are not at all expensive, really. The barrier to entry, I think, for any of this stuff has gotten so low, that if they're even just moderately interested in, accepting the challenge of even a moderate learning curve, and I'm not talking about anything crazy because myself, I've never been a person who totally was interested in learning like the technical aspects of stuff. If it wasn't already in my wheelhouse pretty firmly, but there's so many programs and apps these days that are really pretty easy to learn and not really expensive at all.
I have on my computer, I have Filmora, I have the other one too. I put it on there. I had every intention of using it. And I never used it. I never ever used it. And I don't know why. I just haven't. I never. Hey, hi Pepper, how are you? Welcome. And maybe one day I will. I mean, it's probably outdated now, but I'm sure you can get upgrades or whatever. Eh. I mean, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to learn a little bit more. Again, I'm not saying I'm going to become some big YouTuber or anything at all. I just want to do a little bit different. I mean, you have to change a little bit. You have to try. You have to. Because if you don't, you're going to get stuck. So I don't know.
Well, you don't want to get stuck. That's for sure. We'll have to give you a little push if you get stuck.
Yeah, I've been doing. I mean, just making videos or coming on here. And remember when I used to do, what was that? A UCam. I was wanting to do something different, but UCam, they just have these I guess this little things. I don't know. It's really crazy, and I thought I was really smart doing that, but I really wasn't. It wasn't nothing. It was just something different. Nobody liked it. Nobody liked it. They had little dogs on here. Man, we don't want to see no dogs. It's kind of weird.
I mean, it's interesting though. Things kind of go in and come into fashion, and people are sort of like intrigued by it or bemused by it for 5 minutes, and then the next thing comes out, and they're not interested anymore. So it's fine. I think it's fine and good to try stuff. See what you like. See what works for you.
You're right. You're so right. Thank you, strategic. That would be great because sometimes I'm telling you, I get lost. I get lost in all this. Now, like I said, pretty soon. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do my green screen. I'm doing that for sure, and I'm gonna do that the probably beginning of next week. After I think maybe after everything with the ginger and everything, I'm gonna focus on something else because after everything's good with that, then I can stop worried about her so much.
Yeah, take the strategic. That's such a nice comment and offer. You should take them up on that, Pam, sometime because
Oh,
you guys are awesome. I mean, from what I've seen, I haven't been subscribed to
oh my
Recology
God,
that long, but yeah, you do a great job. Very clever, witty. I like the wit too. You guys are great.
oh yeah. I mean,
Oh,
I
there you go. Look at this. What? Uh-huh. Don't bury the lead. Strategic media. Oh, now I get it. Strategic media is an award-winning TV editor.
wow,
Awesome.
wow,
Well, that's fantastic. No wonder. Okay. All
wow.
right.
I don't even know how people do that. How do they smash? Okay, here's one video, right? And I take this video, and say for instance, I have a. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God, I have a camera. I'll show you what I have. If I can find it in here. I have this. I have another camera. Wait, let's plug that. I have. What is it? Well, I'll show you the box. It's in here somewhere. It's in here, probably down here. Um, I have a camera. I have this. I have this camera right here. I have
Canon.
the,
Okay.
yeah, and I have this. My daughter. I don't know. I think it's just a one she got. She thought it was a good idea, and it didn't have a name brand, so I never really liked it because I didn't know if it was any good or not. And so I've only used it like once, and I got mad because it didn't, I don't know what it did. It didn't do something, and I didn't get mad. I got frustrated. I get frustrated easy. So one day I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna try to do it, but I'm gonna get a new one. I'm gonna get a new camera one day, and really put effort into my channel, and not nothing more than what I do now, but just show that that wouldn't that be great? Have an image of Graceland on my green screen. Oh, that would be great.
How about the jungle room?
Oh,
I'm sorry. I think the jungle room, God bless him. I like Elvis. I think though, for the period, that was like the height of like, you know, uh,
sex.
well, yes, and what a rich guy would have a jungle room, right? But it's just so campy. When I look at it it's just so campy and awesome. I love it in the best possible way. Don't you love it?
Do you know that Elvis never called it the jungle room?
No, I did not know that actually.
Afterwards, they called it after he died. That's when they started calling him that and calling it that. Everything's all green, everything. And he used to.
Well, I mean, it fits. The
it does.
The interior does look like. Yeah.
You've been there before, right?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
No, I have not been to Graceland.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Have not been there.
It's really, when you look at it, it's so small. It's so small. You would think it would be like huge, and the rooms are just average size.
Especially, I will say that, yeah, that is an impression that I got. A friend of mine went, it's probably 15 years ago, and she had a bunch of video, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that struck me. Now, mind you, I've seen pictures before, randomly here or there, but I haven't really sought out any of this material, right? Mm-hmm. But I was looking at her pictures, I was like, man, especially if you compare with like celebrities of today, and you see their houses, usually multiple houses, right? They're just so massive compared with what Graceland was. And when you consider at the height of his fame, what a huge star he was worldwide.
Hey, Munchie, he was so proud of that house too.
Yeah. That's my understanding. Yeah, so interesting.
He lived in California, and he rented those houses. He didn't own those houses. He rented those houses. But Graceland was always his home, and he was really proud of that when he come in there. I mean, it had the chandelier right there, and he had the white long couch, like a million miles long, and that table in front of it. And then he had the TV in the TV, the piano in like the side room, like, you know. Um, I heard that recordology of there's a full scale replica. I would like to see that. And there's one also in Illinois too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
A lady, in fact, I'll tell you the story in a little bit. But the house is the house is set up differently, like than you would think. Like some of the like the kitchen is a little different. It's small. It's real small,
Mm.
and the dining room was really nice. I mean, but back in those days, everything wasn't huge. Things weren't really.
Right, right.
I mean, that was a big house, and because when he bought the house, he bought it from the that's why it was called Graceland, because it was named that before. And but it's nice. It's a nice house, and I like to go there. You know, I like to visit that place. I mean, I haven't been there like 2 years, 3 years. This will be, well, if I don't go this year, it'll be 3 years. I hate to miss it that long.
You won't miss it. Memphis trip coming up in August, right? Everybody's going.
The weather,
Everybody who's anybody.
but depends on COVID. Depends on COVID.
Well, true. That's true too.
Yeah,
I wanted to acknowledge what Strategic Media said up there about the beauty of your channel is how real it is. That's the part of the charm. Because I agree. I mean, I think it's awesome, you know, that you're going to try out the green screen and have some fun with that. And I don't know, maybe get Strategic and Record to chat with you about some editing or whatever else. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm all for that. But I mean, necessary. I mean, not for me to enjoy. I love it's kind of real. It's a slice of life. You know what I mean? Real life.
well, that's so true. That's so true. I mean, I feel like my channel, I don't want it to become like, I don't want it to become anything other than friends talking. You know, I mean, that's what this is. It's just friends talking. It's like, say for instance, if we went all out for lunch, we would all be sitting there talking. You know, maybe you would talk about something over here, and I would be talking about something over there. At the end of the day, we'd probably come together and start talking about the same thing. You know, but that's the good thing I like about my channel, and you know, I find it really refreshing because I you know, I mean, now since I've kind of like trying to tone it down about talking about other people and stuff like that, it feels a little nicer. You know, it's still sometimes I find my mind slipping back there, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to, you know, change it more about me because, you know, I got to. You know.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. I get that. And as we've said before, I mean, I think there's a difference between like making an observation, an honest observation, not like saying that's all you're doing, but really it's all for the purpose of stirring stuff up. That's not what I mean. Making an observation and just like it being in the context of discussing just life and things that everybody goes through and how different people respond to it. That's one thing. And also, again, as we said, when people put stuff up on YouTube, clearly it's there for public consumption.
Well, people put stuff up there because they want to talk about it.
Well, of course, yeah. And like the thing that you were talking about earlier, sometimes even trying to be deliberately provocative, even if maybe it's not maybe the wisest thing in some folks' opinion. Look, it's their life. They can make their own decision, right? But a thing that I do have a problem with, though, and when I see it, I tend to like say, okay, this is probably not the place for me, is I don't like when there are attempts made to discuss things that are not have not been disclosed by someone themselves publicly, you know, not in one-off little side conversations offline with people, but like if they've, you know, if they haven't come on their channel and disclosed XYZ about themselves or discussed it or said, hey, you know, feel free, this is my life, you know, kind of like you just now said, you were very open and said, look, I'm not ashamed of my life. If I've discussed it here, fine. Going forward, maybe I'll make some different choices. This is what it is. But I don't like when there's, you know, people attempt to start rumors or put stuff out sort of like in the air just hoping that someone will pick up on it and then run with it. Because we know people will do that.
Oh,
People
definitely.
will assume if they see it, it's like people used to make that joke. Well, I saw it on TV, so it must be true. I read it, so it must be true. Saw it on the internet, it must be true. Well, we all know that's not the case. So, yeah, that really turns me off, I have to say. But I don't really find anything offensive or wrong, even in just discussing people's behaviors or whatever in a way that's not meant to be antagonistic, mean, mocking, stuff like that. That's because that to me it's not necessary. I don't know. It's not what I'm personally interested in. But I know a lot of people use YouTube for just that reason, and that's their prerogative, you know.
I mean, a lot of people do. I mean, I look at life like, you come on here or wherever you do, like I said, I just want to help somebody. I don't want them to go through what I went through. And even though, trust me, if a person's going to go out there, like for instance, me gambling, they're already going to do it. I can only kind of give them like, hey, this can happen. If it can, it probably might. And, just take heed and be careful. Like I'll tell everybody, if you go to a casino, don't take all your money with you. Leave it at home. Give it to somebody else.
Don't bring your debit card either. Just $5 more, just $20 more.
Oh God! Like that machine's just like, the ATM machine is just like, and not only that, it's taking, it's costing you like $12.95 to get money out of your machine, out of your own money out of the machine that you really,
Right.
Yeah.
Pam, do you see there? Claudia says she would like to share something. Let
Sure.
her know when.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What happened? Let us know. Mm. Wow, you only used 2 tanks of gas this year. Oh my God.
Good. Congratulations, K.E. Rose. I just filled up today. Gas is going up.
Commercial editing. Oh, you're doing commercial. Oh, wow.
Strategic media. I love documentaries. It's my favorite kind of film. I'm boring like that. I guess some people think it's boring. I've heard you say that, Pam. I think that's awesome.
I love documentaries. I don't like, just like sitcoms so much. I like something where at least you're going to learn something or.
Yeah, same.
Wow.
Claudia, go ahead. What's up? Something about Walmart or?
Walmart, yeah.
Father was cremated. Mm-hmm.
My brother went to get the items out of the house. Oh, really? Wow. Nova. That's ideal.
Yeah, it's that way in a lot of places in Europe, I think, right? Nova, I know you're in Galway, Ireland.
Here, there's everything so far,
Mm-hmm.
My stepmother had my dad cremated before she told us.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I figured it didn't hurt to have a commercial. It's the social media part I need. Oh, wow. And she gave him our dad's ashes.
Gave your brother, Claudia, do you mean? When your brother went to get the items from the house? I hope little Ginger's having some awesome dreams.
That was a good story. I'm telling you, that dog can snore like nobody's business.
She can snore all she likes. We don't even mind.
Sometimes in the middle of the night, I'm like, oh my God.
And she wakes you up, huh? Oh, the stepmother said, take the ashes. He was nothing but trouble and still trouble.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm sorry about that, Claudia. That's not nice at all. That's really one of 2 rings.
Cremation? I think cremation is fine.
Yeah, my husband. I had my husband cremated, Katie Rose. That was his. That was our. And I'm going to be cremated. That was our choice.
I don't care what they do with me. They could cremate me. They could stuff me. They could put me in a corner. I don't care. I don't care exactly. I have no. Actually, though, I prefer cremation. I think
It's more environmentally
water cremation. Have you heard about
thoughtful.
water cremation? Have you heard about that?
I don't think I have heard of that. Back to the sea. I mean, so depending on who you talk to, which evolutionist you talk to, they say we came out of the sea.
I there's a new kind of cremation. It's called water, and it's not like that. It's done with water. I'm not sure what they do.
Hmm,
I have no
interesting. Cremation, again, Kate Rose, it probably depends on where you live. I mean, I think the funeral industry, and Pam, I remember you saying that at one time you were really interested in possibly going into mortuary science.
idea.
Um, it probably depends, Katie Rose, but I think in general, cremation should certainly be cheaper.
It,
Um,
it's much cheaper because think about it. You don't really well. You have to have a casket,
oh,
but
thank you, Nova. Thank you.
you don't have to have what's it called? The liner. You don't have to buy the
Right.
stone.
No.
You don't have to buy a grave per se, unless you want to. And some people bury the ashes, and some people do not.
Strategic media, that Body Worlds exhibit. I wrote about that years ago. It was 90. It was probably 98 or 9, maybe a little before that when it first came out. I remember a lot of people were so weirded out by that. It was called
They had that.
plastination, I think is the name of that process, right? I thought it was utterly cool and fascinating. I remember there was some uproar because one of the exhibits in if we're talking about the same thing, I'm pretty sure we are strategic media. One of the exhibits was of a pregnant woman with the fetus in utero, and a lot of course, you can. It's if anybody's familiar with this exhibit, Body Worlds exhibit, look it up if you're not familiar. It's right. I find it fascinating and very educational, and just if you're interested in that sort of thing. But some people were very offended, and some people thought it was sacrilegious, depending on your point of view in that sense. I just thought it was utterly fascinating. I can't tell strategic media if you really do you really want to be a Body Worlds exhibit? That would be kind of cool for posterity.
You know what? I think that'd be cool, but I think I would just donate my body to science.
You could donate it. Yeah, you could donate it to a body farm. That concept.
True. Yes, Nate.
Yeah.
Watch how your body breaks down.
Yeah. Well, I think organ donation, again, some people are not with that. They don't agree with it, and so they wouldn't choose it. But that's my husband and I both. He was an organ donor, and I'm an organ donor. You signify on your driver's license, right? If you want to be an organ donor. And I will tell you, at least this is how it went with me when my husband died. They waste no time. They called me at the hospital within an hour of them telling me my husband had passed, me being pushed out of the room, literally, when they coded him. And the nurse said, I'm really sorry that, I know, of course I was just a mess beside myself. But she said, I'm sorry, but, time is really of the essence, and you need to talk to these people now. And so they literally on the phone they said, our understanding is your husband is an organ donor, but we need to have verbal confirmation from you as next of kin as his wife. And then the hospital will give you the paperwork as well. But do we have your verbal authorization? And of course, I gave them the authorization. But yeah, it was that quick.
I think it's very important. I really think that is. So...
Oh, I do too. And do you know later on? Let's see, he died in December, so I think it was probably toward the end of the following year. I got a letter from the organization. It's called Lifeline. It's still in functions here in Georgia. It might be nationwide. I don't know. But I got a letter from them that said, because they, among the paperwork that I got at the hospital, the authorization paperwork that, they gave me the hard copy of it, and they said there was a little box you could tick. Do you want to know? I hope this isn't too morbid, by the way,
Oh,
for
that's
everyone in here. I hope not. It's not morbid to me. And I think some people, if they've never gone through this, might be interested and find it interesting.
oh, I think it's
They
very
don't
interesting.
understand. Yeah, if you don't know how it works. But it had a little box that you could tick that said, yes, I do want to know what becomes of these organs. I want to know something about the people, if they mutually agree, who might receive this or that organ or this or that bone tissue or whatever the case may be. And I said, I went ahead and ticked the box, even though at the time I thought, it just would be an absolute mess. I don't want to know this right now. But because we have children, I didn't know when they grew up, because my kids were all young. I told you my kids were all younger than 12 years old when he died. So I thought, I don't know. So better to just have the information. And if I never want to look at it, I don't have to. If they never want to look at it, they don't have to. But better to have it and not want it or need it than to say, wow, I wish I had got. So anyway, the following year, sure enough, they sent me information about X number of people received his bone tissue.
Wow.
And it was like almost 30 people. My husband was really tall, and among other things, had really long legs. So that's a lot of bone tissue.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And so I think his corneas, just different things. And then had further information that if I wanted to, for the people who had agreed, like I said, mutually, that they might want to hear from me,
Oh,
then
wow.
it was that it was my option. Because, sometimes in that situation, and I can totally picture being on the other side. For instance, if I received a lung or a kidney or a piece of a liver, I think I would want to meet. I would want to meet the people.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Just
But
think.
yeah,
Or even
yeah.
a hair transplant, I mean, wouldn't you want to know? I mean, the very heart that makes you live is living in somebody else. And you might
Mm-hmm.
have children, though, Oh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Barry, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I think that's interesting. I really, and I think that we need more people to donate, because, I mean, how else are you going to really advance? You have to have,
Right.
I mean, even for
Right.
to learn how to do things, you have to have a human body. You can have a fake, you know, but it's not the same thing. It's absolutely not the same thing.
Yeah, it's never the same thing.
No, 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 no. It's, you have to have a human body because there's nothing like it. Uh,
No, not as of yet.
no.
Wow, Claudia, I'm really sorry that you and your brother and your family is going through that.
That's terrible. Wow.
Yeah.
It's really rough. Now, I mean, my mother passed. I mean, I buried her, and all that, and I didn't know anything else to do. And now, I would have done something a little different, maybe. I kind of think if you, excuse me, if you have, like, if you cremation, if a person seems to be with you, you know what I mean, they seem to still be with you in a strange way. It's like they're still there in a way, maybe not in the where you could talk with, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Going to the cemetery, I mean, going to the cemetery, it just seems so, you know
Well, and plus at a cemetery, there's so many other people there,
right.
which, that I don't know. Again, different people have different sensibilities, different
Mm,
perspectives on such things. Some people might find that a comfort, or,
right.
to know, well, you might feel in some sense that, well, they're not alone, so to speak, or, but then again, if their cremains, as they call them in case of cremated folks, are with you, well, if you believe in that way, well, they're not alone then either, because they're with you. And that said, I know some people who think cremation is really creepy, which, I mean, to me, it's like creepier than being put in a box and buried underground. I mean, okay,
Yeah,
to each his own, But I don't think any of it's creepy, really. I mean, it's
death
the
is a part of
life
life.
cycle, Yeah, yeah.
Right. It's like, I made a video about that, but I don't think it went up. I'm not sure. I was talking about, like, I was on my way home and I was talking about like how people die, and I was talking about missing people, and I was talking, of course, about my dog, and like, and how if you get it in your mind, exactly, this is what everybody's going to go through this. You know, never, there's nobody in this world ever going to get out of death.
That's right. That's
Die,
right.
you're gonna, if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're beautiful, if you're ugly, everybody's gonna die.
The great equalizer.
Right. It's
True.
we are gonna all live on that, be on that slab, for unless something else happens, at one point
Mm-hmm.
or another, and so I don't know. I always, my friend, the one that again, I don't know if the one that told you guys that she had like this dog, and she died. Her dog got put down, and she had cancer, and right after that, I mean, the cancer got really bad, and then she died. She had what did she have? She had breast cancer and it metastasized into bone cancer, and then she had a heart attack, because sometimes, because of cancer, you can have a heart attack because of the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
She had a bad heart. She wouldn't treat that. So, at any rate, when she died, she had all of her animals buried with her. She had like 8 or 9 of them. They were all cremated. And I said, I think I would do that too. I think I would. I think I would take my pets with me. I think I would. I mean,
I've heard of people doing that too. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
people that have had the ashes of their pets tattooed into them.
Oh
Into,
gosh.
yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Or
Interesting.
they carry like a little like a necklace
A
with some
little
of
locket or something.
yeah, with their ashes there. Yeah.
Yeah, strategic. I agree. Let's all be shot, put in a rocket and shot into space
Wouldn't
and
that
become
be
like
cool?
that would be awesome. Hit you right on a comet or something. Come back around every 200 years.
No, listen to this. Get on a rocket, like a, let's say, for instance, like a big firework, right? And on the 4th of July, some of your ashes are there, and then
Oh, cool.
your ashes go all over.
Everywhere. Oh my gosh. I think that would be awesome.
But
I think
then
that
you
would be
you go
awesome.
over your enemy.
You know what? God bless him. They-
If you had a bad marriage, you go right over.
there you go. There you go. Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know about that, Kate Rose. Kate Rose said someone told her if she was cremated, she wouldn't go to heaven. I mean, people have different belief systems. I don't know. I
you
don't.
know, where do these rules come from, though? I mean,
I know who says who
who gives
decreed
is
that?
there a book of? I mean, the Bible. I don't think it says anything like that in the Bible.
Is that in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
I don't know.
You know what let me get started. I'm just saying, you can pick and choose for whatever you want. You can justify saying just about anything based on,
Right.
you know what I mean?
There's probably a testament, or there's probably a verse, and I think the Bible can be so taken in so many different ways.
Well, right. Yeah. And if somebody's, any of us who read and speak primarily English and we're going by the King James version of the Bible, we're not reading it in its originally intended political form anyway. It's a political document. Most people have no clue that that's what it really started out as. But
Right.
we won't listen, I'm saying we. Pam, say, who are you talking? Who's this we you're talking about? I'll say me. I won't go. Don't let me go there. Oh, you're quite welcome, Brenda. Yeah, it's my pleasure and my joy to share. Yeah, and you should come on and share too. Any old time. Come on. Yeah, by all means.
This is, I mean, it makes it fun, talking different points of views and stuff like that. But I do believe that, if cremation versus just regular burial to anything else in the way, if that's what you want to do, it's what you want to do. If it's your choice, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
There's there's no wrong answer there, you know.
I don't think so either. And I'll just say, and this is just strictly, of course, I can only speak for myself, but I think it's kind of cruel when people are, especially if the grief is fresh, but even if it's not, even if the loss is not particularly fresh,
Mhm.
that's a subject I will say I'm happy to share my thoughts if someone asks me about it. And sometimes if they don't, if I'm just like, for instance, I used to write on these subjects, but it certainly is not my place to presume, just, to tell some other family or some other individual, well, look, this is how you're supposed to do it, or else, in K.E. Rose's case, you're not going to heaven. I mean,
Right.
what? No, that's so cruel and inappropriate and beyond the pale to me. I don't even know what is in some people's minds to even say something like that.
They're
Well, I mean, I
thinking,
guess I do know. I guess I know why people, I guess, are well-meaning, although it's hard for me to. I mean, I don't see it that way. I don't really think it's well-meaning. I think it's people who want to feel like they have the inside knowledge or somehow. You know what I mean? It's like they have the answer, and I just don't think any of us do.
right. I don't think there is any correct answer ever. You know, I mean, do we really know what happens at death? Do we really know? Nobody really knows, and
Right, right. That's right.
it's all what we envision it to be, or it might be, well, we can bury our pets, no, you don't have to cremate your pets. You could bury your pet in the backyard if you want. We buried cats in the backyard before, when I was a kid. you know um I don't know, it's just I
Oh,
think,
we did too. Goldfish, even. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I had funerals for them and everything, uh
Mm-hmm.
but it's really, death is one of those things that you never ever really understand. What you reach for what is comforting, like, well, they're always around us, our spirits, and then some people don't believe in spirits, and people some people believe that death is the end. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
every,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe sort of, but it's kind of out there. I used to believe, like, when one person dies, another one's born, and it's kind of like this the way life goes. At the death of one person, there's a birth of another, and it's kind of like the equaling out. And but it doesn't always seem like it's equal, though. I mean,
But now, if you don't mind saying, and if you don't care to go further, it's
I
I
don't
understand.
I don't mind.
Okay, well, because it's similar. It sounds like similar to, I guess, people who the concept of reincarnation. Although I don't think you're saying, or you tell me, do you mean to say that the person who's born, that sort of like, so to speak, replaces that person? Do you think that they're in any way necessarily have the spirit, or if
Kind
not
of do.
soul, or
I think, like, I
so
uh,
similar to reincarnation? You think? Is
I
that what
kind
you
of.
think?
I mean, I believe in God. Don't get me wrong. I believe in God. I believe there's a heavenly being. I don't know if there's this man with long hair, blue eyes, and up in the sky. I don't know if that's what I believe, but I do believe, like, I mean, and this is going to sound crazy, and I've read similar something about this. There is a religion, I can't even remember what it is right now. I'm struggling to remember. Okay, it's like, in each plane, when you die, there's a spirit, and you're trying to perfect who you were. You know,
Right, right, right.
each spirit comes. Okay, if I die, somebody's born, so my spirit kind of goes into that baby. Okay, and they're trying to perfect to get to be the most perfect person. Well, there are no perfect people, but I don't know. I can't explain it where it sounds logical, but I do believe in some ways. Some days I do, and some days I don't. The spirits. How can I say it? When you die, when you die, your spirit goes somewhere. Okay, if you believe in spirits. Okay. And have you ever met somebody? Let me put it like this. Have you ever met somebody and you know you've met them before? You know that person. You have this kinship with them that you just can't explain.
Yes, yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, and it's almost like you've been sisters, but you never met before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everything is so the same, you know. That's what I'm talking about. That's what
Familiar, very familiar.
very familiar,
Yeah.
very, you know, like that's where I get that thought. Now I don't always believe that, but there's that little part of my brain that I used to think like that. Now I think, well, maybe not. And then I struggle with that thought because I mean that is sort of like reincarnation, but I don't know.
Well, see, I don't think reincarnation precludes a belief in God. I mean, just using that term God as a,
Well,
you
that's
know, as a catch-all, whatever anyone wants to think of, like the universal power, the universal oneness, or the universal love, creator, whatever you want to think of it as. Um, Now, granted, I'm no expert on reincarnation. Reincarnation is actually the theory of what happens, life beyond death, that I have, for whatever reason, I've investigated the least, strangely enough. And, I came to realize this, it hadn't really dawned on me in quite that way. It's like, wow, that's the thing that I need to really want to dig into more, was watching that series. I think we were talking about not too long ago here on your channel, some of us, when we were talking about a new docu-series on Netflix, and we were talking, what's it called? Something about Beyond Death, but it has, there's a few episodes.
yeah,
Some
yeah.
are about ghosts, some are about near-death experiences, a couple are about mediums, and then I think there's an episode or two about reincarnation
Right.
with real life people who have had, real experiences with different things. So it's a fascinating concept, but yeah,
And nobody will ever really never know. We will
no,
never know. I mean, we always think we know. We like, okay, when we die, if we're saved, like if you're like Baptist, or if you're like, they believe in saving, and if you're Catholic, you believe you made your communion, you're baptized, you come back. Or if you're like, and there's so many other religions that are just as right as ours. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I think we all think that our religion is the right answer. The Hindus, they believe differently, and Buddhists, Muslims, they all have their own thinking, and
But there are a lot of through lines that are like sort of like touchstones in every religion that you just named, and every sect, pretty much without exception, has very similar touchstones, very similar iconic figures that they refer to, or some of them actually literally use the word savior, others don't. But and that to me is a much more compelling and interesting fact than to zero in on any one religion and say, well, this is the right one. What's more interesting to me is to know that people, being as far flung as they've been throughout history all over the globe, yet they still have each in turn, these different civilizations and communities and so on, geographic areas, arrived at very similar concepts of stories of creation and notions of what might or might not happen after we die. That to me is really interesting, and I think does speak to something that's really inherent in people, all people, regardless of what they believe or don't believe.
Well, strategic. I was reading this. I believe the spirit world can send us signs, because when my mom passed, she sent an abundance of butterflies. This I'll tell you, massive.
Yeah,
I told her
yeah.
to send a sign when she got to heaven, and she did. That's wonderful. When my
one of those. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pam. Go ahead.
When my dog Sparkle died. Okay, no, not compared to your mother. No, not at all. I don't mean it like that way. But these white butterflies were like in my backyard. I came home, you have to do what you do with them. My dog, we had to put her down, and came home, and I was hysterical. I was home alone. Okay. So I was sitting up there crying, and all of a sudden these butterflies came, and it was April. So it was kind of the same time. Right. But I mean, it was so strange because there was maybe 3 or 4, and every time I see a white butterfly, I always say, that's sparkle, that's sparkle, that's sparkle.
Oh, that's sweet.
I do think we do get signs when somebody dies, or a pet or whatever. My mom died. I used to sit in the living room, the same place that she would sit, and the light would flicker, you know,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't know.
Oh man, Pam, I could tell you guys some stories. I'm saying stories, but I'm talking about true facts, 100% true things that have happened to me when
Please do.
both my mother died, and well, I don't know, maybe we'll go off into that now, because I wanted to mention to Strategic Media if she has seen, speaking of signs, and Pam, I don't know if you saw this episode. I just looked up on Netflix. The name of that series that I just referenced is called Surviving Death, and it's
Oh,
got, let's see, it's got six episodes. Yeah,
mhm.
6 episodes. Because there is one about signs, Strategic Media. So if you have Netflix and if you haven't seen that, you might be interested in checking that out. The series called Surviving Death. And I'll just say, for my little thumbnail review of the series, because I watched all the episodes, some of it I enjoyed more than other episodes, and some of it I found more credible and just frankly more believable than others. Um, some of the near death experience people I have read about,
Mhm.
and actually saw the one doctor out in Colorado who had the kayaking accident, and had the near death experience.
Mhm.
I heard her speak one time years ago. She does some public speaking now on the subject of near death experiences, which is, I think a lot of people tend to, I mean, if we're really being honest, tend to pay more attention to her from the start, and also maybe give her a little bit more benefit of the doubt because she is a clinician, and not just a doctor, but like a hardcore, seriously rigorous medical professional,
Mhm.
and had been for years before she had this experience. But anyway, yeah, if anybody's interested in this subject and they
I'm
have
gonna
Netflix,
check that out
I would
because
highly, yeah, Surviving Death is the name of the series. It's really interesting. And I would love to hear they come to Pam's channel sometime in the future and discuss what they thought of it, if they thought it was all a load of hooey, or they were like, oh my God, that's just like me. I had that experience. Whatever.
I
Yeah,
think we
check it out,
do.
Strategic.
I think there's always. I think after death we get some sort of note. Maybe it's just we want to, but I do think we get some sort of comfort thinking we do, or maybe they do come back to us. I mean, I kind of refuse to believe that you die and that's it. That
Well, I
it.
mean, the thing of it is, you can't, I mean, the laws of physics say energy cannot be created or destroyed, right? You can't
Mhm,
create it. So
mhm,
if you ever actually been physically present with
mhm.
someone when the life leaves their body, I was
I
right
have.
next to my husband. Yes.
Mhm.
So you know how surreal that is. Literally, they were just here.
Right.
He was
Right.
here literally 1 second ago. Where is he?
Mhm,
His
mhm.
body is still here, but where is he? Where is his mind? Where is his essence and his soul? There's no way that just doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
The brain, it has electric impulses, our brain. That's why they can do EEGs, and you can see the little graphs and the little lines going, squiggly, all these things. That's electrical impulses. You can't
Mhm.
just snap a finger or, flip a
Right.
light switch.
It's all over
It
with.
goes somewhere. It has to
Right.
go somewhere.
I truly believe
So,
something.
yeah.
Somewhere is something, just like, we get, what's it called? Do you ever feel like when when somebody's about to die? I mean, we've all probably had somebody die in our life, and they might have been ill and it didn't look good, and it was just like this, it's going to happen, and it's like they know, they're telling you, I mean, through whatever spirit, or you know I don't know, it's just, you just know. And if you ever notice that when a person is dying, sometimes, not all the time, but because I used to read a lot about this, a person won't die while you're in the room with them.
Mm,
They don't, a lot of times, a lot of people won't die when you're in the room with them, or they'll wait for you to come and then they'll die. I don't
right.
know. I think there's so much to the spirits, and you know, they hold on, and I think sometimes they're still there though. You know what I mean? Like they're, like you said, the essence of them, and it's just it's crazy, but it's true. I agree. You know, it's crazy, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
true.
it's fascinating. Oh, thank you, Nova. Thank you. You're awesome too. Um, and it's kind of a shame that we do, because I do the same thing that you just did, Pam. That's the first thing out of my mouth. This is going to sound crazy. And I think, in fact, I just said a minute ago, I could tell you guys some crazy stuff. We only say that though because we're so conditioned to, well, because it's all unknown. All right, we'll just put that,
Right.
we'll say that first and foremost, as you said.
Mhm.
Nobody knows. We can't know. So we all just start from point one saying anything anybody says is just going to be speculation,
Right.
which, of course, immediately that causes some people to say, well, then what's the point? If you don't know for sure, what's even the point of discussing it?
Right.
Okay, these people are over here thinking that. That's okay. But
Mhm.
then for those of us who are interested, yeah, I think because for so long, I think it's really only in fairly recent years that it's become more acceptable to have open discussion about these sorts of things without necessarily, now I'm going to say necessarily because you still can get a lot of ridicule and
Right.
mockery, right? We might get totally
Right.
mocked for this. That's okay. It's nothing I haven't heard before. But I do think that it's more acceptable, and I think it's because it's human nature to wonder about these things, because we, as you said so well and so truthfully, everybody's going to go through this. Nobody gets out alive, as the saying
Nope.
goes, right?
Not alive. Nope.
So if you haven't experienced it yet, you will live long enough, and you will. And when that time comes, I would be willing to hazard a guess, if not a bet, because we don't bet around here. We don't bet on Pam's channel.
No,
We
no.
only on the sure things. But I would hazard a guess that your perception and your level of interest just might change a bit when it's your turn to experience some of these
Oh,
things.
definitely. You know, people
You
who say,
know?
I don't believe in God, and all of a sudden they're praying.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know,
True.
you know, I don't know, have you ever seen people, oh, well, I want to die, and then they're clinging to life.
Right. Right.
So,
Right.
um, and,
It's true.
I mean, I always said, well, what, DNR, okay.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and what happens, I mean, the older I get, the closer I am to death.
Oh,
Maybe
well, I know.
maybe.
Do you still feel like that's the way you would want to go though? I'm interested to
I
know,
don't
especially.
know. I don't know. I mean, it depends on. I always say, well, if I had a heart attack or a stroke, or if I had, like, okay, let's say, let me go a little bit further, ALS. Okay, that
Oh gosh, that
is
is horrible.
horrible.
Yeah.
I believe in, what's it called, where you can take pills and end it all. I believe that.
Euthanasia. Yeah. Assisted suicide. Euthanasia. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, assisted suicide. I have no problem with that because I think it's just so horrible, or where the death is so bad, you know. And I watch shows. Not it's not well. There are some states in the United States where assisted suicide is allowable.
I think Washington State.
Washington, I think Idaho, maybe,
Yeah.
and a few other states where it
Yeah.
is
I think
allowed.
that's right. Hmm.
And but I remember at one time it was only like in Europe, in some parts of Europe,
Hmm.
and
Switzerland, I think.
right, Switzerland, and now it's more over here. It's coming, and which I have no problem with that, because I think there's sometimes in your life when life is just not bearable anymore. It's just not.
Hmm.
And not that you're a burden on anybody, but you're just a burden on yourself. And like ALS, I've known somebody had ALS, and that's horrible because you're trapped inside your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so
Well, again, I think it's one of those things. It's really easy if you're on the outside,
yeah.
observing, and especially, I
Good
mean,
night,
I think we all.
Deborah. Thank you for coming.
Oh, who is leaving? Someone else is.
Deborah Jordan.
Oh, good night, Deborah Jordan. Yeah, good night. See you next time. Thanks for hanging around a while. Um, it's easy and it's tempting. I mean, I can be a very judgy person. I mean, I know that about myself. I am quick to judge sometimes about things, but I think I'm learning to be better about being at least as quick to say, okay, stop, take a couple of steps back. You don't really know what's going on here. Let's figure out if this is really something that you have the right to judge. When someone is in the throes of such a devastating illness, and ALS is, God
Oh,
knows, that is one of the worst, right?
yeah.
How in the world can you judge someone? And I think even with things that aren't maybe not to that level, if a human being just gets tired, look, they're just sick and tired of,
They even
you
have
know,
depression. Like somebody, they even said somebody, you know, uh, did assisted suicide for depression. I can understand it. I mean, it's a personal thing. It's where enough is enough is enough. You know,
yeah,
and I mean, there's some times where you don't want to fight it no more. And I mean, depression and mental illness, that's a place where unless you're there, you don't understand it. You know,
right, right.
uh,
Especially clinical depression, right? I
oh
mean, because
yeah,
that's a whole different animal, so to speak. Yeah,
right. Clinical
yeah,
every day is just a struggle, and or even deeper, types of mental illness and like schizophrenia. Although, I don't know if that they could even make a decision themselves. You know what I mean? So I think it's
right,
you being able to make that decision, just like you have to be able to make the decision. If you want the assisted suicide, you have to be able to go get the drugs to take them, because
right.
you have to make that decision. Not your wife, not your husband, not your mother, not your father, not your friend, nobody. You have to do that. And
That's
you
right.
have to
That's
make
right.
sure that you are in sound mind at that time. Um, because I truly am for that. I think it's somebody's right. It's your right. It's a decision you can make for your life. Is when you're done. You're done, and you
And
can't take it no more.
it's compassionate. I mean, that's the thing. It's the
Right.
compassionate thing to do, and it's the respectful thing to do.
Mhm.
I mean, I think really, at least that I've encountered over the years, people that are most strongly opposed, or also some of the people who are fence sitters, but mostly people who are strongly opposed, are
Mhm.
people who are deeply religious and feel like suicide is a sin and things
Yeah.
like that. And again, that's their prerogative, and I understand that.
Mhm.
I do tend, though, my value system is such that I default to personal autonomy. This is my physical body. That's your physical body. And when you speak of
Mhm.
ending this physical life
Right.
as we know it, that's what you're talking about. Souls and spirits
Right.
and stuff. None of us really, as far as any of us we don't have any human concept of if we control or don't control
No.
that. But we do know that we have physical control over our physical shell of a body. So yeah, I just always kind of default to that's it's like, again, and I think
It's very
you
personal
made that
choice.
right, but you stated the important qualifier. I'm glad you did say that about, we're presuming that someone is of sound mind and they're able to make that
Mhm.
decision. Obviously, we're not talking about people who are so compromised, and this might be the case in maybe clinical depression, let's say. I mean, I'm not a physician
Right.
to, I'm not making that kind of a statement, but I'm just saying I think we can all understand that that might be something that's not as um, that might be more likely to be affecting your thought processes and your mental processes than say ALS or some of these more strictly, so to speak, physical
Mhm.
ailments. But
Mhm.
assuming sound mind, yeah, I kind of always default to that.
I don't know. I just think that there's some things that I and then people, like, oh, God's going to judge you. God knows everything. And if God understands.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
God
I
understands, before you think about if you believe in God, then he knows everything. He knows it before it's even going to happen. He knows
yeah.
what's going to happen. And I don't know. I just think that, um, it's such a personal thing. And I mean, and like they say, like you said, suicide is a sin. And usually when you commit suicide, you're not mentally well. People aren't
Yeah.
mentally. I mean, like, I mean, it's usually, but if you are well mentally, but your physical body is dying, but at a slower rate than the medicine can heal you or can, kind of cover that pain up, you should make that decision on how you want to be, how
Yeah.
you want to end your life, with dignity. A lot of people, dignity is a big thing. They want to die, where they're not so immobile they don't even know who's around them. And some
Right.
people
Right.
have nobody around them too. So you
That's
never know.
right.
Some
And it
people
does,
are alone.
well, it does get a little complicated too, though. If you do have family or anybody, even if they're not, your biological family, if you have people
Right.
around you, they might kind of want to say, no, look, we have to discuss this. Like you mentioned DNR earlier,
Mhm.
do not resuscitate for people
Right.
who might not know. Or like a living will. If you have a DNR order on file with your physicians or with your local
Right.
hospital or wherever, or you have a living will which says, "I do not want extraordinary measures taken in the event of my medical incapacitation." That's a living will,
Right.
right? You can have medical directives,
Mhm.
which I have one. But when I was discussing it with my children, it was so interesting because they were like, no, mom. I know you're saying that, but I just don't know if I could honor your wishes. We can't just let you go like that. And I was like, okay, I had to stop and think, well, wait a minute. Here I am thinking, no, this is strictly my decision, which it is. I do believe that.
Right.
And we've all had a meeting of the minds since then. We talked it through. But but it did cause me to step out of myself and think, wait a minute. Well, and in fact, one of my sons said, well, what if I tell you I want that? Are you really telling me that it's going to be just so easy? I said, look, I'm not saying it's easy in any circumstance. First of all, let's just clear that up. But so it can get complicated. But
Yeah, well, that's very true. I mean, it's like none of us know what's gonna be the thing that lends us there having to make that decision. If it's
yes,
something quick as an accident or something slow as an
like
illness.
a
Yeah,
lingering thing.
illness. And I guess, you know, I mean, it makes me think like, okay, what if I had a stroke, but the chances I could come back from it, okay, maybe I don't want to die, so don't pull a plug and not even give me a chance, but then again, don't leave me laying there for 45 days and
Right, right.
all the functions are shutting down, and all you're doing is watching my life you know go on, go, because healing begins when the funeral kind of starts.
Yes. Yeah.
The healing
Yeah.
begins, and every day it's probably even worse, because I know when my mom passed, it was okay, Monday and Tuesday night, it was the worst 48 hours. Well, it wasn't even that long. It was 40, 24, probably about 36 hours of my life, because my
Yeah.
mom didn't die automatically. She never came to. And we were in the thing, and I go back there and look at her, and you hear cold blue, cold blue, cold blue. And it was just like
Oh
over
gosh.
and over and over. And then they even told me, if we get a cold blue, that's going to be your mother, because she's the worst one there. And it was true, except they did have one, but it was somewhere else. And it was terrible, and
Oh
so
my gosh. Yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't
so
want nobody to have to go through that. But then again, the first thing when they brought her in there, I wouldn't have said no. I would say no, try to help her. Good night, Nova. Thank you so much for coming. Love you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yes. Yeah. Good night, Nova. It's always so great to see you, and thank you for being so kind and sweet and funny.
Yes.
I
Oh,
love seeing you here. Yeah.
but it's like, I don't want to give up hope on me, but yet I don't want you guys to sit there days and days and days and days only seeing like it's not going to get any better. you
Yeah.
know
Quality of life too. Quality
right,
of life is important.
quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
And that's just the important thing. I guess you have to personal. It's a personal, opinion, a personal thought, and all that. But anyways, this has been really interesting tonight. Maybe do this again. Like maybe we could do this like maybe twice a week or maybe 3 times or something. I don't know. Whatever is good for you, because you're good at this and you're really good at talking.
Oh, me? Are
Yeah,
you talking to
you,
me?
you.
Well, thank you for saying. I mean, it just all really depends on what people want to talk about, and and you are easy to talk with. You're a joy to talk with because I feel like you're an honest person, and you know, you're on a journey, as I am, as I think many of us are, and constantly trying to improve and talk through things and figure out. Each of us have our own ways and methods and issues and problems that we've tried to figure out how to work through and overcome. And I mean, that's life, and
I
I
think
I
that's
like it.
what we're all on that journey though,
Yeah.
everybody's trying to find that way, even the most confused or the most, you know, everybody's on some sort of a journey, even the people we don't like. They're on a journey.
It's
But
not for us to name their journey, so we won't even go
right.
there.
But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
everybody's on some sort of a journey just how you get there, and how you arrive. And, every day we're different.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let me just say, because I don't want there to be anything kind of hanging out there. I don't really have anybody that I don't like that, so to speak, to say it that way, here on YouTube. I don't, I will say, and I'm sure you've gathered by now, um,
Mhm.
I haven't, I don't really make the rounds, I think, like a lot of folks do. I know that there's a lot of overlap between certain channels and certain little corners of the web. I'm aware of that. And I've gathered certain things, as I was saying earlier, sort of peripherally and by osmosis. And I'm gradually figuring out who the players, so to speak, are. But I mean, I don't really have any beefs or anything like that right now. If I do, I'll let you know if and
Well,
when.
I really don't have. I only have one person on YouTube that I really
Oh,
don't
thank you
care
for
for.
keeping.
Well, I have two, but I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to move past it. I'm learning that I'm trying to go on the other side of the street. Just go on the other side and not pay attention to that side of the street.
Well, my perception of you is, and I've told you this before, this continues to be my perception to date, up to this moment, is that, some of this stuff, and you've talked about it on your channel, you kind of got sucked into doing some stuff that now when you look back, you're like, oh, yeah, well, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to do that. Sometimes I'm tempted now, but you're trying to have more positivity, it seems, in your life. Just like, I mean, any of us, none of us are immune to being provocable, or someone comes around trying to poke at you and hit a sore spot or something. We're all
Well,
human,
well,
but
I appreciate that.
moving toward a direction, I think, that's more positive, I think, is progress for any of us.
Well, you know what, Ellie? I will say this. I can't say it's anybody's, provoked me to do it. I mean, of course, yeah, yeah. I know what people want to hear. I know what people want to, I know what makes the channel, move. And, but on the same respect, I, I'm an adult and I can make my own decisions. And I've made bad decisions. I've made decisions because I thought that was the right thing to do, or because it was a popular thing to do, or, maybe because I didn't know what else to do. And sometimes you have to say, okay, let's try something new. And I do agree. And sometimes when you start looking at yourself and you're like, oh, that wasn't a great day. That wasn't the great thing, the nicest thing to say. And, again, I've been down this road before with people, and I chose the easiest way. This right here takes more effort than dragging somebody. Dragging somebody's easy. All it does
Right. piling on. Yeah, absolutely.
And listening and to what, oh yeah, okay, drag. But this takes more effort to making conversation, to keep the conversation rolling, and having an audience, and working with your audience of people who are listening, and I appreciate you being here, LA, because you're really a good help, because I'm not always that great at this, but I'm learning.
Well, thank you for saying, and thank you to,
and I appreciate everybody that's been here. I mean, you've been really a help. And
I appreciate everybody's comments, and I hope some folks will try out the StreamYard. It's really easy, and if your cameras are concerned, reach out to Pam, and she has my contact info. Pam, just let me know if anybody happens to ask
you. Me, how can I gotta find, I was looking for your contact info. Can you email me that, and I'll send you mine, okay?
Yes, sure, I will. I'll do that as soon as I get off here. I'll email it to you. K.E. Rose, no, I do not have a YouTube channel. Should I have a YouTube channel? I mean, look, I got so much going on. I don't even know. It would be so haphazard. It would, this is why I said earlier, Pam, I didn't want to come in here bogarting on your panel. It's like, I don't want this to be. No, I don't know. I don't know about having a channel, K.E. Rose. But I'm happy to come in here and chat with folks whenever. Oh, so Pam, let me just answer directly. You said interested in doing this a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, whatever. Just let me know what schedule works for you. I don't get during the week. Usually my schedule is I have long days. I'm not usually here until 8:39 p.m. Eastern time.
Right.
Weekends much more flexible for me. Maybe a Friday night, but there might be exceptions here or there if you can give me just a little bit of a heads up. But we could chat, away from here about that if you want to.
Okay, no problem.
But no, it's fun. It's very interesting. And topics, I'm open to topics. If anybody has any that you want to talk about, again, some of you guys think about jumping on here yourselves, doing a little question answer, a little advice column, whatever. I heard I heard a little thing today, a little blurb on the news talking about how, I hadn't heard this, I hadn't particularly noticed it, but they said something about how, especially during the pandemic, advice columns, like the old school advice, Dear Abby type stuff, advice to the lovelorn, whatever, how those have really become very popular. I mean, I don't know where. Maybe they're just talking about online in general and social media or something. I tend to avoid social media. I think I just do. So I guess that's not a trend that I had been aware of. But to me, that's just another form of similar to what we're doing here, which is just everybody sharing their experiences and asking questions and stuff like that. K.E. Rose, by the way, I saw your thing about, you said, talk about wills, creating a will and stuff. Creating a will doesn't have to be super complex unless you have a really complex situation. If you own lots of property, if you have lots of kids, if you want to create a trust, if you want to have a formal executor, wills are state dependent, depends on the state in which you live. And I'm talking here about the country of the United States. I can't speak for other countries, but many states you can do what's a handwritten will. It's otherwise known as a holographic will, and that's perfectly legally binding, assuming that it meets the standards, the requirements in your state. Sometimes it requires witnesses, sometimes not. Sometimes it has to be notarized, sometimes not. But maybe in the future we could get into that a little bit more. But I don't want to jump back into that just yet. But I just wanted to let you know I did see your question there. Yeah.
Oh, I seen that. The short stay in Switzerland. I saw that, and it was very good. I thought it was that's where I really took my interest about the assisted suicide. I thought it was very interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And being here, now that it's here, I mean, it's been here for a long time, though,
Exercise, walking and dancing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's in a nutshell. That's what I can speak on. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm not an expert on those either, but those are about my limit. I'll just say, right.
Well, D. Sturgis wants to do sexercise, I guess. I don't know.
Are you selling a DVD, D. Sturgis? Please don't peddle your wares here. We're not in the market just now. Try us again another day. No, not here.
There you go. Yeah. Wow. Well, I'm going to go now, and I want to thank everybody so much for coming and here tonight. And thank you, LA. And send me your number, and I'll send you mine. And and
Yeah.
then yeah, we'll get in touch with each other and everything. And you got my information, so.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, sounds good. All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah,
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful talking to everybody. Pam, also don't forget to get in touch with strategic media and
I
recordology. When the time comes, when you're ready to go down that path or explore it more. Okay,
yeah.
everybody, have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. Everybody stay safe.
Bye.